Welcome to my 10 container garden where everything is growing in containers. As we end off the year of 2025, I'd like to reflect on my 2 years of gardening. I started gardening last year, January, where I saw someone planting the scallions in water, and I wanted to try it. And from there on out, I planted tomatoes. And one thing I can say is before, as a beginner gardener, before you start gardening, you should definitely do your research, because I did not know that tomatoes enjoyed full sun, and I planted them near a window sill, and they got leggy, so I ended up having to get rid of them. I planted peppers after, and I struggled with those peppers as well. And I went to a local nursery and I got bell peppers, broccoli, callaloo, and I planted tomatoes from seed. Another thing I would like to say as a beginner gardener is when you definitely do your research, because I the spot that I initially had my plants in, it was shaded. They did not get the full sun required. They did not get the full sun required, so they did not do well, and they were struggling with pests. So last year, my first year of gardening, they did not do well. I did not get anything to harvest. And then 2025, I said this year I'm definitely going to harvest some things. This is not focusing. So I went back to a local nursery. I got some sweet peppers and some corns, and the bell peppers, they did. I First thing I did was change the location of where I planted my stuff. So I got about 7 to 10 bell peppers then, and I took a seed from one of them, and this is one of the trees that came from that seed. And I have 3 on here. Down here I have some callaloo that I harvested recently, and I cut them down so they can grow back. This is not the ideal spot to put them, but I sprinkled the seed, they came up, and I just left them. There was more, but I uprooted them and just cut a few, and they are growing back. It's too hot, so they're putting on buds because it's too hot. And I got back some bell peppers and some corns. The corns did not do well. I planted some pumpkins from seed. Did not get any pumpkins. And I actually planted pumpkins last year as well, but this year it did much better. I got male flowers but no female flowers, and the plant eventually died off. This is the biggest one. And I'm actually struggling with aphids, whiteflies. There's literally ants. I don't know if you can see them. I have to spray every day. I planted tomatoes again this year, and potatoes again, because I planted potatoes last year 2 times in containers, and they did absolutely nothing. I planted again in ground in this current location, and they also did nothing as well. But I believe that it was because they were being shaded by the pumpkin plant, because the pumpkin plant was absolutely taking over everything. I planted, as I said, tomatoes again, and I have a long battle with tomatoes and potatoes. Now this is currently the garden right now after the recent hurricane. Like everything, I moved them indoors a bit too early, and most of them died back because I just put them outside immediately after, because I had to do some cleaning. So I just put them out, and because a few trees got snapped into, the sun is more here. There's more sun here than before, so I just put them outside without thinking anything, and they got burnt. So I had it's in my previous garden, so I had pumpkin, okra, cucumbers, and pak choi. Like everything. This dresser drawer that I showed in my previous garden tour was filled with cucumbers and pak choi, and everything died back. So when I put them back outdoors, I planted some cantaloupe. There's a watermelon in here, but this ended up being the cantaloupe bed, and that my sweet pepper plant from before, that was probably the only best looking one that was left standing, and now it's giving, it had a lot of blossoms, but only 3 bell peppers I got, which I'm absolutely grateful for, because moving from a year where I had literally nothing to harvest, I had broccoli, cauliflower, tomatoes, peppers, tomatoes, and nothing. I harvested nothing, and so the cantaloupe, and I also had cantaloupe. I was battling with cantaloupes and watermelon earlier this year. They were just not making it at all. So I'm absolutely grateful for this plant, because now I have some cantaloupe. I don't know if you can see. There it is. I have a cantaloupe right here. I was so happy. I have them in this little bag, because when they first started setting fruit, something came and bit one of them. I believe it's a caterpillar, because as you can see, bites, bite and bites. So I have to be spraying every evening. So I'm grateful for that. After a long struggle with I have a bit of a struggle with plants that have both male and female flowers. I always get male flowers, but no female flowers. Here's another one as well. It's not really growing as I believe. This one is taking all the nutrients for itself, which I do not mind. I know some people probably like in and just let the plant focus on this fruit alone, but I'm just gonna leave it and see what happens. I'm still getting some flowers, and the bees absolutely love this area because they get flowers. And here is another one, and there's actually one tied in the bag that's about to open. Here is another fruit, and here's also one more. Oh, wait. Here is it. This one is actually growing. So this one and this one are the only two that's actually um, going absolutely nuts. So I'm looking forward to them. I'll have to keep protecting them because I don't know if anything is going to come back and bite them. I also have some papaya trees in here. Now you might be saying, why does she have papayas in here? Papayas cannot be grown in here. I know that because before the hurricane I had scattered papaya seeds in containers and in the ground, and as you can see there is some on the ground right here. These are on the ground, and here is one also. This is another cantaloupe on the ground. There are a whole cluster of them right here. But I again do your research on plants before you actually plant them, because I wanted papaya so bad. I wanted papayas from last year. I've been planting papaya seeds and nothing. So I just threw the seeds after the hurricane. I saw that a bunch of them came up in this one container, and I took them out, transplanted them all the way around the edge of the container. I'll insert pictures. And I did not know papaya roots are sensitive. She did not know before. Now you know they are root sensitive. So I tried removing some to put in ground. Some did not make it, but some. This is one of them. It's actually been shaded out by the cantaloupe. This is actually the cantaloupe area, because everything else is just side characters. They are not doing well. This is also a melon that was in the dryer as well. There was a let's see, oh, fruit, but it doesn't look like it's going to make it. So I'll try different with watermelon. Actually, this is a watermelon plant as well. This is a watermelon plant. There was actually an ant nest being made in this yesterday. I saw it yesterday. This has yet to put on. I only saw one male flower open on this. I have yet to see any female flowers. I don't know what is happening with this. So I'm just leaving it as is. This is also another one of this. This is my compost bucket. Compost bucket. This is actually another papaya that I was able to successfully transplant, and it's doing well. Here's another little watermelon and a chamomile flower. Here is also another papaya that came up in ground, and here is another one. And I have these two in containers because I'm actually going to give them away, but can't any longer. So I'm taking them and I'm transplanting them in ground and in ground. These are also two calabash that I put in ground. There's some more that I need to put in ground as well, because all my containers are currently occupied. As you can see, the cantaloupe over there as well. I scattered seeds everywhere because I was so struggling with watermelon and cantaloupe that I decided that I'm just going to throw seeds. I don't know what that is. If anyone knows, I think it's a flower. I don't know. Over here is also another cantaloupe, which is in a container with my apple tree. This is my apple tree, my Jamaican apple tree. Oh, yeah. This is absolutely loving this container. So there's a cantaloupe in here, and as you can see again, papaya. I made the mistake of setting these in here. I'm going to move them, but they're definitely going to be removed because they cannot stay here. And so on to the next section of the garden. Over in this section I have potatoes. This is a much smaller container that I normally use for potatoes because I want to put like half of a potato, and since I'm not sure, I tried potatoes 4 times, and this time I'm praying that I get some potatoes. So I'm going to put half a potato in. This is a really small container, so let's see what happens. And this is Irish potato, and they started to come up. They sprouted a few days ago. As you can see, they just started growing. I'm going to add more soil. This is not going to be a lot when they get much soil. Over here is another watermelon. And this is the male flower. No signs of a female flower as well. I have a callaloo. Like, I just threw callaloo seeds everywhere. Like papaya seeds, watermelon, cantaloupes, callaloo. I just threw seeds everywhere. This is callaloo again. Also a okra plant. There's an okra. And here is two other okra. I actually do not eat okra, so I just give these away, and whenever the plant is finished I'll just get rid of it. And I don't think I'll be planting. Well, I got them for free. If you watch my previous gardening video, you'll see I mentioned that I got them for free, 6 of them, and I gave 3 to my father and I kept 3 for myself. This is also callaloo again. They are in a plastic container. This is also callaloo again. And this is my pak choy or bok choy, however you call it. I call it pak choy. I actually planted these earlier in the year, but the rain absolutely tore them up. So this is absolutely beautiful. I'm waiting for this to get a bit bigger to harvest. And there's actually some callaloo in here as well. My pepper tree. As I said, last year I struggled with pepper. The pests, they were knocked over, they were stunted, everything under the sun they did, and only one survived. And that one plant was, it didn't give. It started. I had planted it like early in the year, and it wasn't until the end of the year that I saw blossoms, and they didn't even make it. They didn't even get big to say they were opening. So this year again, planted only one pepper. This is Scotch bonnet, by the way. Scotch bonnet pepper plant survived, and I got Scotch bonnet this year. So as I said, this is a year of harvest, and I harvested turmeric, ginger, okra, bell peppers, and Scotch bonnet peppers, and I'll be harvesting some cantaloupes. Might not be exactly in this year. They won't be ready until next year, and I'll be harvesting packages, and I harvested callaloo. So I'm actually proud of my 2025 garden. And as I said, I took these in for the recent hurricane. It lost every leaf, so I had to cut it. It was actually taller than this. I had to cut it back. So I cut it back, and now it's growing back. And this is the good thing about living in a tropical region. You can you can do things like this all year round planting. Anyways, I also have another cantaloupe here. I feel like I have more cantaloupe than there's that lizard, and I don't like lizards. And this area is filled with lizards. And this is my hold on. This is my sea grape plant. And this is actually a for shading the plants. As I said before, during the hurricane, a lot of trees snapped, and the sun here is absolutely brutal, and it was burning my, I don't know if you can see right here, it burned my pak choi tree. It burned everything, and there were more pak choys in here, but they got burnt as well, and this is the only one left burn right there. So I had to throw this over the plants for shade. And I guess that one and the upper plant, that wraps up my garden tour. I hope everyone's garden has been successful this year. It's not easy to continue gardening. I had a whole year of nothing producing. I was excited for these plants, yet nothing produced. Nothing produced for me last year, but this year has definitely been a success for me. It might not be as big and abundant as other people's gardens, because I love watching garden videos, and I absolutely love seeing when people harvest like a whole basket of potatoes or tomatoes or something. I absolutely love it, but that was not the same for me. So it was hard continuing, I can say that much, but I absolutely fell in love with gardening, so I continued. And look at it now. I'm getting fruits, I'm harvesting. Absolutely totally different from last year. And hopefully next year as well I can expand more, plant a lot more things like sweet potatoes. I want to plant some flowers as well. So let's see what's in store for next year, and I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification, and share with someone who made a lot of gardening mistakes as I did, or you just simply love gardening. Thank you for watching.